We are currently seated in our nerd rooms, but since I just moved into mine, it's empty. Joining me, AEW and Ring of Honor World Women's Champion, the one and only Fallen Goddess, Athena. Hello.
Mm-hmm. You forgot forever ROH Women's World Champion. You forgot that. I need to put this out in a press release. Forever.
You can do what the Guns do and put out a press release to every seat saying, don't call us ass boys. You can have one next to theirs on their press release saying, just remember, it's forever ROH Women's
No,
Champion.
because I shouldn't have to put a piece of paper out. Everyone should just already know,
Well,
right? Plus, I don't want to kill all those trees. Come on now,
Fair.
every arena. That's
All right. All right. You got to talk to the Guns then. I'm not the one printing them.
No, I'm gonna call them the ass boys. That's how I feel about the gun boys.
It is so nice to meet you. We were talking before we started rolling here. I have heard interviews with you in other places before. I've been a big fan for a long time. I love what you're doing now, but I really like this person that I'm talking to here because you just give off this great energy, this great vibe. I mean, for those that are listening to the radio version of this right now, how many years have you been involved in pro wrestling? When did you start? And
Too many, too many.
okay,
I think
more
what
than
is
one,
it?
less than 100.
Yes, but it's some I did this math, all right? So this
Yeah.
is like pro wrestler math. It's like, all right, well, I started in late 2006. I don't really remember the month. I just remember it was right before it got cold because college soccer season had ended. I started when I was 18-ish, around that time, and then I don't really remember, so I always say it's April 1st of 2007 because the joke's on me. But yeah, I think it's like working on 18 years, I think, if math is correct.
That
Working
doesn't
on it.
seem realistic to me. Like you just, and I'm not trying to butter your bread here, but I mean, you look great. You're still awesome in the ring. Like
Thank you.
18 years is tremendous. Before we get going too much into chatting here, why we're talking, of course, AEW Collision on its way to Regina,
Mm-hmm.
Saskatchewan at the Brandt Center this coming Saturday. And the Prairie Wide tour continues. It's funny because I'll be at almost all these markets at different times, but I am coming to the Calgary Collision the week
Nice.
after. But you're also, AEW is going to be in Saskatoon. And
Mm-hmm.
this whole Canadian legacy, I was talking to Sean Spears about it yesterday. It's almost like AEW is determined to hit all the major centers that Stampede Wrestling used to hit back in the day. And only they're not doing it in a loop. So
I wouldn't doubt that, to be honest with you, but honestly, every time we come to Canada, it's such an amazing reaction from the moment we get off the planes to baggage claim to the hotels. Like the energy is just so electric. So why wouldn't we do like a 3-4 week tour going to Canada? Like I'm excited because I'm going to places I've never been in Canada. I don't think that I've ever been to Winnipeg before I became a talent with AEW and Ring of Honor. So Regina's the same way. I am certain I've never been to it because I didn't even know that was a city. It sounds like a little kid joke.
trust me.
Regina.
That's
So yeah,
the
yeah.
worst joke you can do there too, because everybody there's heard
Oh,
it and everybody's tired of it. So
yes. In the same way that the Rocky movies and me have a very, very poor reaction to each other. So I get it. I get it.
that was your given name being Adrian. I got it. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so I'm not
Painful
going to go there though.
memories.
We're not going to go there.
Painful memories as a child. Just oh gosh,
I often
again.
find the best interviews are the one where I can delve out some sort of emotional childhood trauma and bring it back.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah,
Good.
yeah. This
I
is
mean,
going.
that's the least of my childhood trauma, I think. But it's one of those irritating parts that you never forget. To this day, I've never seen a Rocky movie because of that.
Oh man.
Is that bad? That's bad, isn't it?
No, it's fine. It's fine. They're all good. Rocky's the ultimate good guy. Just that's all you need to know.
Good.
That's
Good.
it.
No, nothing bad.
Makes you feel better. I got Michael motorcycle for my whole life, so
That
that's
unfamiliar with Michael motorcycle, but it sounds like you could have been a really cool guy riding motorcycles in your day.
yeah. Except I wasn't. I was the nerd that loved watching wrestling. So
Fair. There's nothing wrong with that. I was the nerd that watched wrestling.
well, yeah, but that's just it. You and I are in the generations where we've suffered, where others now flourish, because there was a time where it
Yes.
wasn't cool to be a wrestling fan, and
Mm-hmm.
now it's like the coolest thing. So
Yeah, I remember being in elementary school and everyone was about pro wrestling at that time, which was like kind of attitude era or that shift into the realism era, whatever you want to call it.
mhm.
But like it was like the cool thing. It's like, oh, we got Eddie Guerrero, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, all these guys, you know. And then when you got to like the next grade up, like everyone's like, oh, you like you like that wrestling stuff. Oh, hoity toity, ha ha ha. Oh, you like your comic books. Hoity toity, yada yada. So like, yeah, I grew up in that like weird frame where it wasn't cool, and then you get to high school, and it's like certain people thought it was cool at high school. You just had to find them, and that was
Yeah.
the hardest part.
And then the worst part is you had to huddle together and find each other and just stay away from everybody else's eye line. Right? So,
So the way I found out is when Eddie Guerrero passed away, on my Letterman jacket, I put RIPEG and then put like the years he was alive and the year he passed away, just in duct tape on the back of my Letterman jacket.
nice.
Uh, so and several people was like, I missed him too.
Hmm.
And then other people were like, oh, this is gang related. I'm like, well,
Oh,
no,
jeez.
no. So like I actually was threatened by my high school at the time to take it off my Letterman jacket because they thought it was gang.
Well, yeah, you were rolling with Los Guerreros. That's the.
Yes, I lie, I cheated, and I stealed, man. Like, I guess I was a part of that Guerrero gang.
What a trio of terrible influence, I tell you. Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. In the meantime, the other kids are like, "Have you heard of Grand Theft Auto? It's amazing." That's one thing
uh
I never understood. Like being a wrestling fan, you'd always get told, it's like, "Oh, it's so violent. It's so violent. It's just encouraging violence." I'm like, "Have you seen everything else?" Like,
what was on TV at the time were like pro wrestling. Like we had 24,
yeah,
we had every version of Law and Order, crime shows. Like we had cops,
yeah.
okay? We had cheaters, like we had every bit of chaos there. But yeah, pro wrestling is though. But it's the hoity-toities over there.
That's
But
it.
it's fun. Regardless, it's fun.
We have to talk a little bit about your room here. I didn't realize you are such a massive Pikachu fan, and where this room that I'm in, this empty hollow, will be filled with wrestling memorabilia and merchandise and things.
Mhm.
You're a Pikachu girl. Where? How many do
I
you have? Do you know
um
roughly?
without like kind of dating myself, this is actually a Pikachu too on the wall. I can't really get in frame, but yeah, I have it just in this room, and I don't want to count outside of this room because it might be a problem. But just skimming, just in this corner, there's 7, um, 8, 9, 11 in this room alone. And this
Okay.
is all like wall art themed, not including my Charizard up here. That's
Yeah,
my
we're not
guy.
talking like little small things here. We're talking like big
Yeah,
wall art pieces and things like
I
that.
have a light up Pikachu. I feel like I gotta pull this or else you can't see. I got a light up Pikachu here. He's in a poke. He's in a little Pokeball.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
That-
I have a lot of Pikachu memorabilia. Let me say memorabilia. But yes, I love Pokemon. I collect video games. I collect Pikachus. So if you want to get me a Pikachu, I totally will accept it with open arms. I have a Pikachu onesie, like Pikachu like snow hat. Like I am all Pikachu'd out here. So
Okay,
I
okay. On the off chance we cross paths in Calgary, I'm gonna bring a Pikachu with me. Hopefully, something unique that you do not have, and we'll see if we can make something happen here. But
yes.
in the
Yes.
meantime, as poor Adam from the AEW media team is going, it's like, when are you guys gonna talk about the show? Later, later.
Later. Never. Never. No, we will. We will. This is them loving me some me. That's all this says.
That's exactly what it is. And for people that are listening on the radio to this, I just want to paint the picture a little bit of who you are, because when I talk about my wrestling fandom, you automatically have to come out and you still have to give yourself the disclaimer. Okay, just so you know, I'm a bit of a wrestling nerd. But once you have conversations like this with wrestlers, especially, that's when you realize that you're either wicked cool, super
Mhm.
dorks, bit of both. Like it's always awesome to find what a common thread outside of the wrestling is. So trust me, I guarantee there's people that are watching or listening that are like, I wonder if she has this Pikachu. Is there one you have that's like you could probably put a down payment on a house
Um,
with?
no,
No.
well, not that I'm aware of. I do have the original Pikachu Pokemon card, though I don't think it's very valuable. Though I would never give it away either. And then I have a flying Pikachu up here that's framed that I just got. Actually, think I can reach up and grab this one.
Okay.
See, I wear pants in my interviews. um, I have this like holographic flying Pikachu here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I got this actually in Toronto.
During those shows.
During a signing, I think, actually.
Oh really?
Yeah, there I got invited to a Comic-Con. It wasn't quite Toronto, London, I think.
That sounds right. Yeah, that's
London. Yeah, so I actually got to do that, and I have tons of artwork because everything was just awesome and I'd never seen it before, so I just went ham. So Toronto,
those cons are death for bank accounts, though. If you're a collector, like it's just
which is why I can't go. Like it's literally me. Like I remember there was an artist, so Pumpkinhead, which is this guy right here.
Yeah.
There was an artist that hand drew a Pumpkinhead in blue pin, and it was just like, and he was like, "Are you interested?" And I go, am I interested? And he goes, this is 15,000 CAD. And I was like, I'm just going to keep walking because I love Pumpkinhead. Yeah. I don't love Pumpkinhead that much. Actually, I do love Pumpkinhead that much because I called my husband immediately after walking away and I was like, so babe? And he was like, no. if you're calling to ask, the answer is no. I was like, but it's a pumpkin head in paint pen and it's beautiful. And he's like, no, if you're calling, no. He didn't even ask how much it was. I was like, but so I go ham.
Large, like Pumpkinhead better be showing up at my house. Like I that's what I need.
I mean, look at him. He's Pumpkinhead.
Well, I get that, but and I get it. You're very successful. You do what you do, but come on.
I couldn't. So like it was massive, and it became an issue of I can't mail this back to myself. So like that's pretty much what it came down to. And my husband just saying absolutely. But I would like to think I could have maybe no. I can't put that much money on the wall. Goodness, that's like house payments and stuff. But like I thought about it for a hot minute. I did.
Yeah, I'm with you. There's again the wrestling nerd of me. Like I'm trying to get my hands on a Reggie Parks original belt from the WWF days, and I was actually friends with Reg and before he passed away, unfortunately. And I always kept meaning to call him and say, "Okay, I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to do it." And then I never did. And now, of course, to get one, it's like, yeah, you can buy a car for
arm and a leg, arm and a leg to find it.
All right, let's talk a little bit of wrestling here, segueing from your time in Ontario, from one experience to another. I was telling you how I was at the AEW Dynamite and Rampage tapings, which were then also Dark and Elevation tapings. And first of all, you worked both days. Did you work 3 shows in those 2 days? Like I remember you being out a lot.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway,
I mean, for sure 2 at least. But probably.
Anyway,
I won't doubt it.
The point is, you love to wrestle, but
yeah,
you came out and you had a match against a friend here, Jody Threat, who is out of Ontario, and she's wrestled out west with us at Dungeon Wrestling as well, and she's everywhere. She works the road everywhere she can. It was interesting because when Athena came out, big pop, good cheers, and then the match started.
Look, no, you and me heard 2 different things, sir.
Well, I will say this. You did get applause when you came out, but then when they realized you were in the ring with Jody, that's when things changed.
Yeah. I don't remember any type of cheer happening that night toward Athena. You and me remember that night 2 different ways, but I'll let you continue.
All right. So for those that don't remember or weren't there for that fact, or maybe I'm a little fugazi with the memory myself, but it got to a point where Jody Threat, who is a local fan favorite, was that the night that Athena turned?
I mean, I guess. I don't know. So like it was I don't know, right? Like I feel like Canada just turned me. I
But it
blame
happened
can't
shortly after because you got downright vicious in that match.
I did. Like it's just everything comes to a point at times where you just get fed up. And I feel like after that loss to Jade, I had just been trying to find myself again. And it was like, oh, I thought that like I had this in the bag. I'm wrestling Jade Cargill, this newbie. I have all of this experience under my belt. And then like after that loss, like I was like, okay, we can rebound for this. I had an opportunity at the AEW Women's World Championship in a fatal four-way at Arthur Ashe. Came up short
Mm-hmm.
in that. And it just became like, am I gonna get lost in the shuffle again? Am I gonna like and like between that mindset and Canada booing me, like who wouldn't snap on some level? And like poor Jody was just a casualty of Canada, I think. And that's kind of like honestly, it's where everything started. And Jody's awesome. She's super talented. Like she's signed with Impact now, and I'm immensely happy for all of her success. And
Mm-hmm.
she was super cool to be able to go in. And she was kind of the first porcelain hussy that I broke. And was it on purpose? No. I would like to say Canada booing me got the better and gave me flashbacks to my indie career before WWE. And like maybe that was it. I don't know, but like just seeing everything that came out of it, it became okay. What do? Do you go and be like, oh well, what happens in Canada stays in Canada? But like as a pro wrestler, you got to
Yeah.
run with things like that. Like there was a lot of like negative buzz, there was a lot of positive buzz, there was a lot of people clutching pearls, there were a lot of people thinking that they know the business and they don't. I mean, like everyone had an opinion on the matter, and it was probably the weirdest point in my career because I didn't really know what to do. As someone that had been wrestling so long, this happens, and then like you're like, well, screw it, I'm going to double down. And that's basically what happened. It's like you can go back and say, okay, I'll go back to what I was doing, I'll be the good guy, or
Yeah.
you can just elevate and evolve with the time with the fan base. And that's kind of what ended up happening. I just decided to say F it and double down on that. And I just kind of embraced this new attitude and I love it. And it showed me that I have way more to give than I thought that I did at the same time.
You wear it well, I have to say. I like the aggressive side. I mean, I was a fan of you in WWE, but what I'm seeing now in Athena is so much more. It seems more comfortable. I don't know, and I'm not saying that your past experience was forced or anything, but this seems to just flow a little more natural for you. Would you agree with that, or?
So I think it's just different, right? Like everyone that has watched TV wrestling, or at least like my fans have always known me as this weird demonic, maybe a witch, maybe a werewolf, maybe a banshee. Who knows what it was supposed to be, but like that's what they knew me as. But a lot
Mhm.
of people didn't know that's how I wrestled before. On the independent scene, like I had earned the name of the American Joshi because like I never got to go to Japan. I still want to go to this very day, but I got given this name from Japanese fans that would come over to Shimmer Women's Wrestling, and they just saw like, holy crap, and I got streamers, which was really cool. Like
Yeah.
I know that's such a minor thing, like in the
No,
grand
that's
scheme of
that's
things, but like the
huge.
day that I got streamers, I was like, my heart, and so like literally I became the American Joshi from the style that I worked because I love that Japanese hard-hitting style. Everything's a competition. Everything is, not only do you have to overcome yourself, you have to overcome your opponent, and like your opponent is going to hit just as hard as you, and like it's just such a different vibe, such a different style, and I just fell in love with it when I was on the indies before WWE. And like kind of fast forward, that's kind of the style I've gotten back to. Like I never used to really be a high flyer. And
Mhm.
because I could do those things, I'm not saying like left or right with it. It's just because I could do those things, I knew that that could get me a job. And that's what I kind of just was like, look at me, I can do this, because I saw that was something that was missing in WWE at that time. Yes, there were girls that were capable. That's not what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
I just noticed that there wasn't a dominant high flyer and I knew I could take that.
It's
So
got to be hard sometimes as a wrestler. Like I'm even hearing you have to say it now. Like it's hard to say, "Hey, I wanted to do this," but then you have to disclaimer it saying, "Yes, I know there's other people. I know there's other things all the time." Like I just say take pride in what you've done and what you've managed to do, adapting yourself, because and don't put disclaimers on it, because other people, we know other people can do things,
Oh,
but the way you're doing it now, the way
it's
you're
not a
doing
disclaimer. It's
okay.
not. It's just like people like to twist words around. That's it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so I have to say those things because that's what happens. But like,
Yeah.
I'm very proud of everything. And I've always been proud of being able to change on the fly and alter my moveset based off of who I'm wrestling. That's part of the reason I chose the name Ember Moon, of like undying and ever changing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like I never did the same thing twice. And I prided myself on being able to do that every single night, day in, day out. Like I always have something in my back pocket. I always have something to give. And I think that that versatility that I once had as Athena translated to Ember Moon, and now it's back in full force in the original version as Athena again, except now everyone's getting to experience that on TV. So
Which is
yeah.
really cool. And the fact that not only because I was there, not only because I know the independent scene here in Canada, but I mean, here we are almost three quarters of a year later, and that legit, I'm not saying this to blow smoke here, that's legit one of my favorite memories from those tapings. Was seeing that moment, that adaptation, and seeing you kind of just go, all right, like you said, I'm doubling down on this, and
Mm-hmm.
it turned into going from I'm going to try and get the fans to cheer for me. It's like, oh, you don't want to cheer for me. All right, then here's what we're going to do to your girl. And going back to what
Mm-hmm.
you said, Jody Threat, perhaps a victim of her own success in that case, because
A little bit, but at the same time, it's like sometimes like I feel like I've always been a team player, and sometimes you have to think about you and what you're going to do for you, you know?
mhm.
Sometimes it's like, oh, okay, well, this person's going to get an opportunity. I'm not going to say anything. Like I'm not going to sit back and let other people overshadow me anymore. And that's part of the reason I say I'm the forever Ring of Honor champion. It's part of the reason I say that Ring of Honor is my show. Like, this is my moment to showcase myself. And if anyone has a problem with it, you can step up or I'll kick you in the face and you can see your way out the door. You know, that's just the attitude that I've doubled down with. And that's the attitude that I go with every day going to work. Like, I want everyone to step up. Eventually, someone will beat me, right? But that person is going to be immensely worthy, and it's not going to be anytime soon. I can guarantee you that. You know, I'm going into Ring of Honor week in, week out, trying to show everyone that, hey, we're a brand and we're here and we're showing the world what we can do. Not only that, translating that over to AEW Collision this week for the Owen Hart tournament, which is I'm going to beat the brakes off Willow Nightingale. I don't care. She's already wounded from losing her New Japan Strong title to Julia. Like, this is already in the back for me, and anyone that has anything to say about it, cool, let's open this conversation, because I'm going to show you that you're wrong every step of the way as I'm hugging my Owen Hart trophy. just just maybe I'll do a little like dance around it too, just we can play Willow's music as I win the tournament. I
Well,
can
if
get a
if
little
if you do
dance.
win the cup, though, you do have to give the Owen Hart woo one of those when you got it. So, because I mean that'll be the thing in Calgary. Taking you through the tournament again this Saturday, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, you're going to be facing Willow.
Mm-hmm.
What would it mean to you to make it to the finals and be in Calgary in Hart Country, having a chance to win it all?
I don't think I've ever really won a big tournament on this level before. I think the last tournament that I won was the American Joshi tournament back in the indie days. I've never really gotten to win a tournament in my entire career. Not only that, like being a big fan of Owen Hart, the Blue Blazer, if you will, that means a good chunk, because when I was learning, I studied so much film of his because he's just a truly unique individual. That I feel like a lot of people need to look up. And I love the fact that we have this Owen Hart tournament every single year, that we are constantly like fighting in his honor, if you will, like making that legacy live on year to year with trophies, with just the intensity that everyone has to come in to this tournament. Like we all want to win. The difference is I am going to win and they are trying to win.
All right, Athena, All Elite Wrestling Collision is in Regina this coming Saturday. Tickets are at Ticketmaster now. Before we let you go, I got a couple of things I have to ask you. First of all,
Cool.
we are a rock station. You get to request any rock song you want right now. What would you like to
Oh,
hear?
oh gosh, this is so hard. Because all
Okay,
I
think
listen to
about
is rock
that.
and roll.
Think about that for a
Okay,
second.
okay.
Okay. Secondly, I want you to talk them into the building right now. Tell us all about why we got to be at Collision this coming Saturday.
Because your forever Ring of Honor champion is going to be there. We have already established this. I am the ROH gatekeeper. I'm the alpha. I am better than Kenny Omega, though a lot of you are going to hate that I said that. I am your fallen goddess, but most of all, I am going to be your future Owen Hart tournament winner. And that's all you need to know. I am making my Collision debut this week, which of course I know that you are all going to be applauding me as I walk into the building. So get your tickets now. Come see me, not only make my Owen Hart tournament win so much more because it's in Canada, the country that made Athena Athena. So come on through to the Cookout, Canada. We're doing this in Regina Saturday. Be there. Get your tickets. Follow me on my social media. Watch me on Ring of Honor TV. Hashtag watch ROH or watchroh.com. Athena Palmer _FG. Follow me on Twitch, which is Half Dragon AP. I promise we will be back soon. But most of all, you can see me kicking Willow Nightingale in the face this Saturday on Collision, winning the semifinal for the Owen Hart tournament. Bam. Did I do that good? Did I nail that?
All right. It's almost like you've done this before. Almost like you've done this before.
Maybe just a teeny bit.
All right. In all that, did you think of a song?
I'm going to have to go with one of my karaoke jams. It's a classic. It's my workout song that gets me through my cardio. Let's go with Living on a Prayer.
I love it. Yes. Absolutely love it. She is Athena. She is the ROH Forever Women's World Champion.
There we go.
And she will be in Regina. She will be in Calgary. And AEW is coming all across the prairies. Get your tickets while you can. Athena, this has been everything and more I hoped it would be. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'm going to bring you a Pikachu.
Please do. I love the Pikachus. Yes.